I can tell you that when you accept disability, which they don't tell you at the agency, when you accept disability, you accept. Now, when you go on OWCP, you got a right to go back on your job. When you accept disability, that means I lose all reconsideration rights. I'm going out. I'm going to sit on the bench. I'm not playing the game anymore. See? Now, OWCP is like going out on injured reserve. It means I'm hurt, but I'm coming back. I'm going to play. But when you take retirement, you take a seat right behind the dugout, and you say, I'm not playing anymore. I'm going to watch from here on in. So you lose reinstatement rights. So that's why you had to retake all your tests and everything all over again, because that's the way FERS is built. Under SERS, you could try to ease your way back in there. Under FERS, no. Once you take disability, that's why the agency wants you to take disability. One, they don't have to mess with OWCP and going to the doctors, and you got a right to work 20 hours and get paid 20 hours. They want you to just retire and go away because the HR office wants that. But the only thing is you go from taking 100%, which all of us can't live on 100% of what we make, you take 60, then you take 40. But what do you do with your 100% wife and your 100% mortgage and your 100% car payment? You don't. So you got to make something work. So you take 60% for 1 year, then you take 40% for each year thereafter. Then, because your financial situation goes to almost nothing, you're forced to get back out there and work, even if you're hurt. Even if you're hurt, because that's the way it goes. Until you can get Social Security the real way, if you get Social Security, it means you got to be darn near dead. And Social Security, like OWCP, is constantly sending you to doctors and whatnot to try and prove that you're good enough to go to work. So if you're on disability with us, we give you 40%, but you're still missing that other 60. So your intention is to go back to work, and who the heck wants 40% hurt when they'd rather have 100% in good health? So you go out and you get a job. And at first you make crappy wages, and some kind of way you make your way around to making a halfway decent wage where it looks like your life's coming back together. And OPM does this survey that they have to do by law, and they find out that you cracked the 80% line. When if you knew where it was, you take my 40%, and you work on your job, and you start January 1, and on September the 16th, you say, hello guys, see you later, I'll see you January 1. I'm not going to work the next 3 months and make another $25,000 and lose my $18,000 a year retirement and screw myself up. See you later. That's what the average person who knows what they're doing does. They work just enough hours to make somewhere between 70-75% of their high 80% earnings. They get my 40, and they're making it. But the law forces you to play that game, to do that until you reach 62. When we don't, or until we reach 60, when we don't wage any earnings against you. And the only reason why Paul could get you for 12 or for years previous was because you weren't 60. If you get away until age 60, after age 60, the disability rule says we do not survey you after age 60. Even though you can't draw Social Security to 62, it says if you're disabled and you get to 60, we will no longer survey you. But you got caught in the year 60. As of January 1 of 12, you were not 60 yet. So you got caught up in the 12 survey. And it was either 12 or a previous year that you were over.
Yeah, it was 10 and 11, I believe it was. Yeah. So.
Right, so that means if you were over for 11, you would have technically stopped June 30 of 12. And there'd be no way for you to get back on just about before age 62 because of the amount of money you were making. Now, if you could have been over for earlier years and got back on and not been over for 11, if you were running in 12, by the time we brought you up in 12, you said, oh, I'm 60. Back off me, leave me alone. You would have went through the eye of the needle. You would have been the camel that went through the eye of the needle. And it's a numbers game. It's about how it goes. But you just happen to get caught on the wrong side of this thing. And that's how it happens. But most people don't want to do nothing illegal. They just want to know the rights. Will somebody call me? Will somebody talk to me? Not like a child, but talk to me the way you'd want to be talked to if our roles were reversed. Just tell me what I need to do. Tell tell me what the law says so that I can do things legal. That's all people want. That's all anybody ever wants. Very seldom do you find a guy who wants to, burn down the world just so he can get an extra $500. Most people just tell me what I need to do. Tell me what the law says, let me do the right thing, and I'm good. But when I don't know what I'm doing and no one will tell me and no one will call me or help me find out what's going on, it's a mess.
Yep.
And unfortunately, the government doesn't have enough people who can, when someone retires, call them and say, okay, do you know what's going on? Are you aware of your rights? Okay, let me give you this 45-minute conversation here, and this will help you 25 years down the line. Because a lot of the HR offices, unfortunately, they don't know. They deal more with people who are working, not people who are not. So, when you can't chew the leather anymore, they say, okay, get him out of here. Let's get somebody else in that spot who can pick the cotton, or who can shuck the oysters, whatever. And that's the way they think. And if you really got a real retirement counselor and they really set you down and told you, okay, you're going to go out of here, you got 60% first year, 40% each year thereafter, very few people would take disability. They fight to go on OWCP and go back to work one day.
But Mr. Greenwell, let me stop you there. I've talked to a lot of people that have tried OWCP, and they said that they were more harassed.
Yes,
they were a lot more harassed, or they felt that they were harassed.
Well, sir, but here's the thing. If you got a wife, y'all, I'm on the telephone. You get 75% of your high three when you're on OWCP. And it doesn't go down. See, I pay you 60% and 40% of what it was then. OWCP would pay you 75% of what it is now. If you got a wife or a child. Now, the whole point is, when we're giving you 60, they're going to give you 75. When we go down to 40, they're going to still give you 75. My money is taxable, their money is not. So the aggravation, most people say, look, Mr. Greenwell, I put up with the aggravation because I'm getting 75% of what my pay would have been if I was on the job, and it's tax-free. So I'm able to make it just about the same because guess what? As long as when I made 100% on the job, it was taxable. Now I get 75% and it's not. So I'm almost in as good a shape or better except for the aggravation. I go through the aggravation and the doctor's worrying me, sending me from doctor to doctor to doctor, accusing me of being a liar or whatever, but they're paying me. All the while I can pay my mortgage, I can pay my car payment, I'm okay. I go to OPM where no one will ever call me and touch me. I got to call for years to get a person. But what good is 60% one year and 40% thereafter if I'm going to lose my home, if I'm going to lose my car, if my kids are going to get set outside? I'd rather go through the aggravation of OWCP. So that's the way people see it. They only come to OPM when OWCP stops because they have no choice. Okay, they'd rather not lose the money. They'd rather not go through the aggravation, but they figure that the aggravation is worth what? 35% over what we pay, and it's 35%. That 75 is based on what that job would pay right now, not based on the 40% we pay of what the job paid then. It's totally different. Totally different. So people go through it because they can get it. Hold on. Y'all can't talk on the phone. Jesus Christ. We can hear all of that in here. So, unfortunately, sir, that's the way it goes. But nonetheless, you can always call OPM and ask a question. Don't know that you'll need to do any of those now. You really don't. But at this point, if a person knows, if a person could have got information some time ago, it could have done them some good. At this point right now, it probably won't do as much good as it would have done 10 or 12 years ago. But nonetheless, everybody's entitled to know. And I tell the employees, I said, don't take it personal. This is not our money, Paul. We didn't work for the money he worked for. We're not going to pay him retirement. It's not our money. We're just stewards of the money. And that's all we're going to do. We're just going to be stewards of the money. So that's about the size of it, sir. But know that you can call us anytime that you have a question about something. And we'll help you to the best of our ability.
Rick, I really appreciate you and your family time. and taking your government time and separating it, and I really appreciate your phone call, sir. I do.
Well, sir, we're going to do our best to get you an answer as soon as we can, and make sure that you get to... Now, feel free. If you're emailing or you're calling us and you still don't, hey, Rick, I got my retirement, but I haven't heard anything, I can nudge from this side. Hey, guys, that record, send it down to Legal Recon. He needs, he wants written proof that the debt, of what the disposition of the debt is. And I can nudge from this end. We can't do it. We can't make the call, but we can nudge from this end to get it going. If it ever should, say, get stalled or sitting somewhere and it's not doing anything, you should know something with your case within the next 30 days. You'll know what your retirement amount's going to be and all of that, and you're going to get paperwork for this retirement like you did on the disability way back when, a new benefit booklet. This is who you are. This is your age. This is how many years you work. This is your wife. This is your health benefit plan. It'll spell all of that out. Like you're just retiring for the first time, because it's a new retirement. It's a new right. So they'll send you through all the paperwork stuff again. Then if you don't get, if you don't get a warm and fuzzy, you let us know and we'll find out about it for you.
Again, I can't say it enough. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, give us a call if you need, Mr. Redden.
All right, thanks. Bye.